Hello everyone, welcome to Marvel Inside Out's another video. In this video, we are gonna break down Marvel's Eternals new teaser trailer for every detail you might have missed. And guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and do press the bell icon to stay updated for future videos. The first trailer for Eternals doesn't really have much to tell us about why now is the time for Marvel's mighty immortal race to emerge out of the shadows to bring their eon-spanning fight to the forefront. But it does give us our first solid look at just which of Jack Kirby's esoteric creations will be in the spotlight, so here is the full trailer breakdown. The teaser opens with a stunning opening shot, which sees the Eternals ship decloak over a group of fishermen and farmers thousands of years ago. This ship may serve as the Eternals' base of operations, allowing the Eternals to interact with different human civilizations across the planet. Its ability to cloak means it could still be hidden in the present day. Now, our first glimpse of some of those actual Eternals comes in the form of Sersi, Gemma Chan, and Icarus, Richard Madden. In the comics, Sersi is the member of the Eternals who has traditionally interacted with humanity the most, even becoming a member of the Avengers during the 90s. It's fitting that she falls in love with the Earth the moment she sees the planet, dedicating herself to its defense on an emotional level. Icarus, the leader of the Eternals, seems rather less impressed. Our next rapid-fire glimpse of Eternals also introduces us to how the Eternals movie will visually portray the beings' transmutation abilities, golden strands of energy, that they each manipulate through different ways to form objects or layers of protection around them. We get brief glimpses here first of Thena, Ajak, Phastos, and briefly Sprite in the background, who we'll see more of later. Angelina Jolie is making her MCU debut as Thena, an Eternal warrior who has often served as a diplomat for the Eternals, helping them find common ground with other cultures and civilizations. Thena, described by Marvel as a fierce warrior. The daughter of Zuraz, and aside from all the standard Eternal powers, Thena's expertise is in martial combat, having spent her long life learning strategy and techniques from thousands of years of Earth's warrior cultures. The Eternals trailer moves on to introducing Salma Hayek's character, Ajak, who's been gender-swapped from the comics. Ajak is believed to serve as the Eternals' spiritual leader, and according to leaked Eternals merchandise, her wisdom has guided the team from their arrival on Earth to the present day. She possesses the power of physical healing, which she can use to heal humans and Eternals alike, and intriguingly the merchandise teased she possesses the unique ability to communicate with the Celestials. Now, what is that gold shimmery stuff? Here we can see Phastos, who is the Eternals' prime technologist, a master craftsman who helped forge the Eternal Society's advanced technology, gear, and weaponry. In spite of his legacy as a master forgesmith and weapons maker, creating himself a mystical hammer to complement his energy manipulation abilities, Phastos himself did not care for Eternal involvement in conflict or with outside species. In the movie, he'll also become one of Marvel Studios' first explicitly gay character, being married to a currently unknown character played by Haz Slayman, and sharing the first on-screen gay kiss in the franchise. After a few more moments of seeing the Eternals live their lives alongside humanity, basically becoming godlike beings to a new civilization in the process, we do get to see a few more new additions to the team. Briefly glimpsed alongside Icarus and Thena here are Gilgamesh, played by Don Lee, Makari, played by Lauren Ridloff, and Kingo, played by Kumail Nanjiani. We don't see much of Gilgamesh elsewhere, so let's start with him. In the comics, he has a long history as an outcast of Eternal society, declared the Forgotten One for his history of going against the Eternals' strict non-intervention policies, which get noted in this teaser. Gilgamesh eventually returned to his people after discovering his true nature as one of their kind. Makari, meanwhile, another character whose gender was changed for the movie, is known for their super speed, as you can see in the piles of books being rapidly skimmed through here. Like Phastos, Makari is a keen engineer and prominent crafter, channeling their knowledge into crafting vehicles and other transportation for the Eternals, even if they preferred using their abilities as one of the fastest superhumans on Earth. Ridloff, who is deaf, will be portraying Makari as Marvel's first deaf hero. Before we get to Kingo later in the trailer, we're introduced to another major figure from the Eternals comic history in the form of the young Sprite, another gender changed for the film, although the recently started Eternals comic has likewise resurrected Sprite in a female form. Sprite is a somewhat antagonistic force in the Eternals comic history, although not necessarily villainous. They're more of a trickster figure, akin to Loki, utilizing their ability to craft powerful illusions to confound opponents. Forever trapped in their youthful body, Sprite has repeatedly tried to find ways to use their power and that of the Celestials to age into an adult form. Once she used the powers of a dreaming celestial to wipe the minds of almost every Eternal, letting them live as normal humans in society in an attempt to see if it would allow them to grow into an adult body. Here in this scene, Sprite is singing karaoke on airplane, and behind him there is a K symbol that most probably means Kingo, that shows he is a mega Bollywood star in the MCU, since he can get a private custom jet. Also, in the background, if you look closely, there is Steve's old shield. That means they might be in contact with him during World War II, or this could mean something else. Next up is Droog, Barry Keoghan, described by Marvel as an aloof loner. In the comics, Droog is Icarus's cousin and was obsessed with power and eternally envious of Icarus for his close relationship with Droog's father, Balkan. But interestingly, the Eternals teaser seemingly casts Droog as more of a friendly face, as we see him participating in what seems to be a very important power from the Eternals comic history, the forming of a Unimind. In the comics, if multiple Eternals, as few as 3, or many more beyond that, linked their minds in a special ritual, they could utilize the Celestials' more powerful gift bestowed upon their species, the ability to summon a Unimind. A Gestalt being of unimaginable power, Uniminds are combined essences of pure energy, a hive mind intelligence that can be used as either an almighty construct of war, or in some cases, a democratic conclave to make decisions affecting eternal society. At last then, we get a brief glimpse of Nanjiani in action as Kingo, both in his guise as a Bollywood celebrity in human society and battling what seems to be a group of possessed civilians. In the comics, Kingo was actually an Eternal from conclaves that were founded in what would become Japan, where he eventually found a home and developed his skills as a samurai and master swordsman, eschewing many of his fellow Eternals' special abilities. As time passed and humanity grew, Kingo eventually leveraged his skill in his home nation to become a major action movie star, specializing in samurai movies, in between serving a role in Eternal society. Now, is Game of Thrones' Kit Harington an Eternal? The last major character we're introduced to isn't actually an Eternal, but a human, but they do have a long complicated history in Marvel's comics. Briefly glimpsed with Cersei and other humans looking up at a stormy sky in the teaser's climax, we meet Kit Harington's previously mentioned Dane Whitman. Marvel Studios is staying particularly quiet about Dane's role in Eternals, but he's actually a figure from the comics, the fantastical, magical medieval hero known as the Black Knight. Starting out in Marvel's pre-Marvel history as Atlas Comics, the Black Knight was originally a strictly medieval hero with no special abilities, but a magic sword called the Ebony Blade. Years after, the mantle was borrowed by small-time Iron Man villain Nathan Garrett, before Garrett's nephew Dane took the legacy himself in an attempt to redeem his ancestors' history as a legendary hero. Dane worked as the Black Knight alongside both the Avengers and the Defenders, but his primary connection to the world of the Eternals is as a major romantic interest of Cersei. As the Eternals trailer builds to a climax, a storm is seen brewing in the skies. This kind of effect is traditionally associated with the arrival of the Celestials themselves in the comics, who have returned to Earth on numerous occasions in order to judge humanity. The Celestials are believed extinct in the MCU, with Ego the last of his kind in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, but it's possible that belief is incorrect and that the Celestials have come to Earth. This could well be the cosmic event that forces the Eternals out of hiding, because they know the entire world could potentially be destroyed if the Celestials find humanity wanting. Here, it looks as though the Eternals put their differences behind them in order to stand against this mysterious threat, because the trailer shows them standing united, all wearing their traditional costumes. The Eternals trailer ends on a lighter note, with the Eternals discussing who will lead the Avengers now that Iron Man and Captain Rogers are gone.
Thank you for this.
Oh, you're welcome.
So now that Captain Rogers and Iron Man are both gone, who do you think's gonna lead the Avengers?
I could lead them.
While this is pitched as nothing more than a moment of levity, it's actually crucial in reminding viewers this film is part of the same shared universe, and it definitively positions Eternals in the MCU timeline. It's interesting to note the Eternals refer to Captain America as Captain Rogers, perhaps indicating a past connection to the Star-Spangled Man with a plan. Perhaps they even crossed his path briefly during World War II. So, this was the breakdown of the new Eternals teaser trailer. Do let us know your thought on this in the comments. Also, we are going to talk about each Eternals character and more briefly in the next video. So for that, do subscribe the channel and turn on the notification so you don't miss it. Also do like and share the video, and for more Marvel related news and updates, follow us on Instagram. We will see you in the next video. Till then, be safe and be marvelous.
Baby, our love is so blinding. How did we manage to find